Before we start this episode, this is just a spoiler alert. If you don't want to know anything about the Scarefest mazes at Alton Towers, maybe skip this episode because we're about to discuss them in a lot of detail.
When you're ready.
Well, we just need to get into like a spooky mood.
How does one do that?
Probably watch a horror movie, but we're not going to do that. Do we actually know what we're doing? Do you actually know what we're doing?
No.
Okay, go on then. You do the news. Hit me.
So I don't really know what has happened since.
Not being
the last
funny, I don't know why we do the news because you never seem to know what's actually going on.
Well, by the time recording rolls up, something's already gone and happened and ended in this case. So two things. At some point, Kings Island announced that Firehawk was going to close. Don't know when that happened, but it happened. So Firehawk is their Vekoma Flying Dutchman coaster, you know, the Vekoma Flyer.
Okay.
In your case, it's like Galactica, but made by a different company and a lot worse.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, they're closing it. People are, speculating that they're going to put in some sort of massive ass B&M Giga coaster.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, American parks really like to get B&M hypercoasters, which are like these airtime focused rides that just have hills, and they're about 200 feet, so I don't know, like 65 meters or so, 66. And then the same park goes and gets the exact same model. It's not even a different model, it's the same model but bigger, so that they have one that's 200 feet and another which is 300 feet. Technically the exact same model of ride.
That's weird.
They design them slightly differently though. The bigger ones are less focused on airtime and more kind of just over the place, but yeah, it is very weird. Especially when you consider, European parks don't even get rides that are over 200 feet, let alone two of them in the same park. But anyway, Firehawk, yep, it's going. There's still two other ones in the US, so who cares? End of. And the other thing that happened and then didn't happen. So last episode we spoke about Kentucky Flyer, which is Kentucky Kingdom's GG Gravity Group wooden roller coaster. Mm-hmm. Basically, the park's got some sort of agreement with some fair board. I don't even know what this really means. It's like American politics that I don't really understand. But yeah, they've got an agreement with a fair board that it gives them the right to use up to 20 acres of additional property to expand the park into.
Okay.
Right? And for the new ride, they needed 1 acre. So Kentucky Kingdom was like, "Oh, can I have 1 acre?" And the fair board went, "No."
Oh, why?
And then Ed Hart, the guy, was like, "But you have to. You have to. You legally have to." And then they were like, "No." So then Ed Hart was like, "I'm done," and started, having a row, going like, "Oh, can you please?" Not really, can you please, but people started emailing people, and be like, "Can't do that."
But why did they say no?
I don't know, because it's America and American politics suck.
Okay then.
But yeah, no. So they said no. Ed Hart said,
and that's the end of that.
no. Ed Hart said yes. Fairboard said no. Ed Hart said yes. The fair board eventually said okay, and it is now being built.
Okay then.
So yep, literally have no idea why it happened. The fair board said something about the papers weren't in order. Then Ed Hart was like, "This paper's in order. This one's in order. This one's in order. They're all in order." So yeah, it was momentarily stopped and then restarted.
Well then.
Well, that's all the news for today.
Cool.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
And we'll see you all next time.
We're
Goodbye.
done.
So we went to Scarefest for spooky times.
Even though we don't like spooky times.
Well, no, that's not
Well,
true.
you love spooky times now.
Yes.
Yes, he does.
So it's become a tradition to go to Scarefest every year for me. Ever since... So when I went to secondary school, which is like...
Way back when.
Yeah, when you're like, 14?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you're 11 to 16, towards the second half of that, they'd always do a yearly trip to Alton Towers for either Scarefest or fireworks. So, obviously being nerd, me and my friends always went. And then once that kind of stopped, we just started organising it ourselves, and here we are now. So every year, go to Scarefest at least once, only once, to see how it's changed, ride some of the rides in the dark, all that kind of stuff. So naturally, on the 20th, I think Saturday the 20th, the third Saturday of Scarefest, we went, had a good time. We tried some of the mazes for the first time, so last year I did the welcoming and no other maze. Did the welcoming because I'm a nerd. I wanted to know about Wicker Man, and then they didn't really give you much info about Wicker Man. But anyway, yeah, did the welcoming. Thought it was cool, pretty tame though, and that was that. This year, I was like, yeah, so let's do mazes. And you were like,
no.
And I was like, yes. So we did. Similar to the Ed
and
Hart.
I went,
just gotta say yes. Exactly. So yeah, we did mazes this time. We quotation marks did all three. Not the kiddie one or the welcoming, just the main core three.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that slightly later.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, general Scarefest vibes.
It's always good in the dark, isn't it? Because you never get to go in the dark normally.
Yes.
So just the general dark vibes were good. They had all the lights out. Obviously, Wicker Man was the best one. But we didn't see... I remember last year, the clown bit was on that pathway, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They had all the clown actors down by the Smiler, was it?
By
Spinball.
Between Spinball and X Sector.
Yeah. And we went through there last year, which was quite cool. I didn't really like it, but it was cool. And this year, weren't they meant to be just walking around?
Yeah, so they were more kind of meant to be roaming the area.
But we didn't see them, so...
I think the problem was, naturally Towers is getting busier and busier as year after year post the accident.
Yeah, it was crazy busy.
Yes, it was remarkably busy. I was looking at this website gives you average queue times, and the average queue time for that day was like 70 minutes.
Oh my god.
That's the average. That's horrible.
Well, yeah, because there was like 1 million people in the park.
Yeah. So, and unfortunately, when the queues are that big, you don't really get time to take much of the park in. So, realistically, we didn't have any time to take much of the park in.
Yeah.
Especially because most of the stuff that was going on wasn't where we wanted to be.
Yeah.
So in previous years, it has been, we'd always kind of walk down that path where the clowns were, or when in the Forbidden Valley, there was the people with the chainsaws and zombies and all that kind of stuff. We'd be there. Whereas this time they had people over at Galactica, but we didn't really see any, even though we were there at the time. So that was weird. And there was meant to be pirates in the pirate area, Mutiny Bay. But
we didn't see any of them.
Well, obviously we didn't go there.
I guess, yeah.
Then there was just apparently general clown actors browsing as well. But again, didn't see any of them.
It's obviously not the park's fault. We just missed it.
But at the same time, I really do think that, like, Scarefest, the mazes are obviously great, right? And the mazes is something they do well. But especially this year, I felt like the atmosphere wasn't as good. But I guess that's pretty much just down to because we didn't really experience anyone roaming. I think a much more focus on roaming actors for next year's event would be very good.
Well, the thing is, Also, last year we didn't do the mazes, so we didn't
No.
have a lot of time. Like, I wouldn't say wasting time, but obviously that took up a lot of the time of the day when we would have been like just chilling and walking around.
Yeah.
But also, it was so busy.
Yeah.
Why didn't they have more actors?
Well, yeah, this is it. I think towers, in terms of the budget they get, is always displaced a year. So their 2018 budget, even though they thought it would probably go well because of Wicker Man, they can't get a big budget until they know it went well, kind of thing. So I think we're still operating on a lower than normal budget, and hopefully next year it kind of picks back up a bit. And yeah, I'd love to see more just kind of general actors, because that is really what makes it, you know?
Yeah, well, the thing is, a lot of people like are too scared to go in the mazes, but they'd still want to see actors, not necessarily like scary actors, but you know, like the pirates obviously wouldn't have been that scary because they're probably more aimed at the kids.
Yeah.
But just people dressed up, because that's what Halloween is, you know, just chilling about. It just makes it feel more Halloweeny.
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't have to be super scary, because that's what the mazes are for. But like, you just need some more going on.
And at the same time, I think more kind of props to make the areas feel a bit
Halloween.
more different. Yeah.
Because also I went to Disney in September, and they were starting to set up for October Halloween stuff, and they already had like more decorations up for Halloween than I saw at Towers.
I mean, it's Disney.
Yeah, but that's the kind of thing you need. Like, all the theming that they have changes, you know, and they get the pumpkins out and they get the statues out, and everywhere you look, it's like, okay, it's Halloween now.
Sorry, I can't take any value out of a park that hasn't made money since its formation.
Oh my god!
It's like Blackpool,
but
constantly draining money.
Yeah, but isn't that what you're saying should happen?
Yeah. Not to the extent of Disney, because I wouldn't expect, you know, Towers to could do that.
Yeah, but they could shove a few more pumpkin statues around.
No, definitely. I think they should.
And some like bunting or something, you know?
I think the main areas like Dark Forest, X Sector, and all of that should have both actors and more props, because you should, at Scarefest or any Halloween event, it should kind of be different. It should have a different vibe to it. It should look slightly different. And apart from Tower Street, it didn't really. But again, I think all of this is kind of personified because we didn't really have time to walk around and take it in as much. Yeah,
I guess, but we probably had the same experience that most of the people had that day. So if everybody's going to go away thinking that, then...
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't think the average person doesn't rush around as much as we did.
Yeah.
So, you know...
Yeah, but by slowing down, we're not going to magically see a pumpkin on the ground.
No, but you take a lot more of it in. Like, I just don't remember any of like the in-between walking bits, really. So, and this is it. Like, I'd like to have gone, you know, again, just to...
Yeah, of course, just to like chill.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's just real... The time that we can go is always a Saturday. Exactly. And that's obviously the worst day. If you want to go to Scarefest, really, you want to choose some time in the half term. So, you know, like a Wednesday in half term.
Yeah.
Because then, I mean, the queues are still going to be big, but they're not going to be average of 70 minutes.
Or you
minutes.
Just want to do 2 days or 3 days.
Yeah. So,
which is the dream, but, you know.
But yeah, no, I think more Halloween stuff would be good. We saw the kids show.
Yeah, Maddie saw that about 3 times. She said it was great while she was waiting for us. But yeah, apparently that was all right. And they had that skeleton show on the towers. Yeah,
the projection inside the towers windows with the skeletons on was cool. I think that was better than having nothing. Sometimes it's just lit up, and I think having something going on is cool.
And the music was cool because we could hear it from really far away. We were like, oh, what's going on there?
Yeah. But no, hopefully something else. More next time, I guess. Just generally. We can't really compare it to other Halloween events. I've seen some people say that the atmosphere at Fright Nights is better, or the atmosphere at Fright Nights, this is Thorpe Park, is worse. The mazes at Thorpe Park are always apparently worse. But then from what I've seen, seems to be a bit more of a focus on roaming actors at Thorpe than there has been at Towers this year. But
Right.
again, I wouldn't know, 'cause one, I've never been to Thorpe Park at night, let alone Fright Nights. So
Yeah. I don't think I have been to Fright Nights because I was always too scared.
yeah, why would you?
Yeah, two things I hated at that point. This is the bit where I have to tell everyone that I cried.
Yep.
Okay, I cried in the maze. Basically, okay, we did through the 3 mazes, and a couple of us in the group were a bit scared, so we said we'd do them in order of scariness.
Or what we thought was going to be the scariest.
Yeah. But so we started off with Project 42, which is the new one. And I assumed I was going to be able to do at least 2 of them, not subspecies. But basically when we went in, I just broke down. But it was really, I guess it was a good maze because it did scare me. But I don't know. Basically the theme was, like all of them, zombies. No, it was like infected people. So, you know, it was kind of army based, wasn't it? So it was like you were, you know, you need to get out because all the infected people were there and the army were there protecting everyone. Just a general like apocalypse storyline.
Well, it was mainly suited towards the kind of style that Nemesis Subterra was in. So the army people that kind of group is called the Phalanx.
Okay.
And it was just a play on that, basically, as you said. The people have been infected, and the Phalanx are trying to keep it under control, and you're there to help.
Or not help, as it were.
Yeah. So with any maze, you have to kind of they make you queue up outside, and then usually it's only a short queue. I mean, we didn't really have to queue any longer than 5-10 minutes for any of them.
Yeah.
But we queued outside, went into this little tent, had a little pre-show, which it was interesting. It was just like a video pre-show, so nothing crazy.
It reminded me of the Walking Dead pre-show.
Yeah, it wasn't a particularly great pre-show.
No. And you got the gist. As soon as the army dude came on the video, I was like, okay, I know exactly what the storyline is, you know?
Yeah. So that happened, and then you kind of were on your way pretty much. After that, it was all guns blazing. What I didn't really think about was whether these are all going to be kind of like free flow mazes or ones where you follow people with hands on shoulders.
Yeah.
So the welcoming was the latter, where you had hands on shoulders last year.
Was it like you had to have hands on shoulders?
I think so. I mean, everyone did in our group, but I don't know why we would do it just naturally.
But in Project 42, we just did it naturally because it was so dark.
Yeah, but at the same time, we didn't. You didn't have to. There was no kind of rule to. And I think it makes it so much better when it's a proper free flow maze where you can just stop. You don't have to be worried about...
Why would you stop, Harry?
Well, no, I'm just saying.
Why would you do that? I'm actually getting worked up thinking about it.
But I think free flow mazes are much better because you can kind of go at your own pace, and then the people in the maze can interact with you more.
Yeah.
Like at one point, one of the zombie people got on the floor and started crawling in between us.
Yeah, and then Sean stood on them and they got a little bit freaked out.
And obviously you wouldn't want to be trying to move forwards following a line if that was happening. And I think that makes it a lot more kind of dynamic.
And also at the end, that one actor stood in front of our whole group and was like stopping us from getting through. And we literally couldn't get out. We could see the door and we couldn't get out the maze for like at least a minute.
Mm-hmm. And I think that adds so much to it, really. It feels a lot less controlled, more chaotic,
it's more
dynamic, more natural. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of, whoa, this is already a step up from what I was feeling before.
Yeah, because it feels less like you're in a maze and more like you're actually in that situation.
Yeah, just walking through.
Yeah.
And at this point, you're actually... So the first bit was on the old queue line of Nemesis Subterra. So there was like some tents that were put up over the queue line, and then you kind of go into a tent, out of it, and then you enter the main building. And as soon as we entered the main building, it felt like a completely different place.
What do you mean? It wasn't Subterra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been on Subterra like 2, 3, 4 times, and there was one part of the maze where I knew where I was. Oh, actually, no, that's not true. So the elevators, I knew when we hit the elevators, I was like, oh yeah, the elevators. But I mean, you can't really do much about the elevators.
Oh, I didn't even notice any elevators, so.
The only other point was, at one point you could see the egg.
Could you?
Yeah, you could see the eggs.
That's hilarious.
But I didn't really, the elevators I didn't really clock until afterwards. But the egg, I was like, oh yeah, this is Nemesis Subterra. But at all other points, I'd forgotten that.
Hold on,
you know?
So it was literally the Subterra building?
Mate, the eggs, literally, there's 4 drop towers around the egg.
I didn't even know we were doing
walked
that.
basically into the building, through the show floor and where the drop towers are, and the entrance and exit of the ride.
Wow.
Yeah, this is it. And
you wouldn't know if you didn't
No.
know what Subterra was. You'd just think it was the maze.
yeah, and that's the cool thing. I think the sets I was very impressed with, especially subspecies, but we'll get onto that later. But yeah, the set of Project 42 didn't really feel much like Subterra, which is pretty impressive in all honesty. You know?
I mean, it got me, so.
This is true. I mean, you broke down like 10 seconds in, so.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's not all think that I'm just really weak. I'm claustrophobic, and I didn't realise it was going to be. So I thought it would be quite a wide corridor kind of thing the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, with like actors and stuff everywhere, but I didn't think it would be that small. And there was points where you had to crouch down and crawl through stuff. And there was one bit, which is the bit that got me the most, where it was like an inflatable tunnel basically, but there wasn't a gap, so you had to like push these 2 inflatable balloons apart and like squish between them, and did not like that. And then on top of all that worrying, I had people up in my face looking like a zombie, so it was not good. But like I say, it was a good maze because I got scared.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have got scared from any maze, though.
Yeah, but no, I do appreciate that it was good.
Yeah. Interestingly, Project 42, I say, really, we had the most actor interaction with throughout all of the mazes.
There was a lot.
Yeah, I don't know whether it was because we did it kind of really early on and it seemed like it was very dead.
We did all the other ones straight after, though.
Yeah, but the queues for the other ones, I mean, we literally waited a minute.
Oh, so you reckon we hit it at a really dead point?
Yes.
So they were just crowding around us?
Yeah, I actually do reckon that's what happened.
Oh, that's horrible.
Because usually in the mazes, there's parts which you don't always see, like corridors for actors to walk between the different sets.
To go to a different bit.
Yeah. So they could just cycle round, realistically.
Well, we wouldn't have known it was the same one because it was so dark, you know.
No. But yeah, no, I think that we did have the best interaction.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, guys.
Yeah, which is probably a bad one to start you off with. But at the same time, the others were no better, really, for you. There wouldn't have been a good one to start with,
I mean,
realistically.
it's the tunnels, so what are you going to do?
Yeah. But yeah, overall, Project 42, I thought was a really good start to the mazes.
Yep.
It was definitely familiar in the kind of theme of it all.
Yeah, but wasn't that the point?
Yeah, I guess so. That was the point. But I mean, familiar in a way that it's just kind of like zombies
Bit
kind
boring.
of thing.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. It's very like generic.
Generic, but it worked.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because that stuff's scary. So why change it? You know.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Yep.
So at this point, we, mowed it on down. So Project 42 is in the Forbidden Valley section of the park near Nemesis and Galactica, hence Nemesis Subterra. So we mowed it on down, I say, but it's more like across the entirety of Alton Towers to head to the towers, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And between the towers and X Sector is the queue for the Altonville Mine Tours. So Altonville Mine Tours, The Legend of the Skin Snatchers is the full name. This one's about kind of cannibals in a mine that rip people's faces off and wear them.
Love it.
Yeah.
Brilliant
And
theme.
so when you queue up for it, they line you up against the wall, and your group is given, of like 10 people, is given 3 minus helmets, each with a light.
Okay. Already scared out of my mind.
Well, yeah, because at some point it's going to get dark and you're going to have to light the way.
No way.
I had the light, which I was pretty happy about.
Oh, well done.
And I was leading our group in. So we went in.
Wait. So you're at the head of like 10 people?
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay.
We went in. I was like, oh, where are we going? So I went left.
Yeah.
Right? And got to the first section, which is like a pre-show with an actor who tells you a bit more.
Oh no.
But everyone else had gone. It was just
What?
me. So the actor was like, are you here by yourself? And I'm
What?
like, no.
Everybody else had gone?
They went the wrong way.
How?
Yeah, no.
Who was behind you?
Pete, I think.
Oh my god, Pete.
Yeah. So,
wait, so he just went right and led everyone right?
Well, he went forward. I think he went into like an actor pathway.
Oh my god. Wait, so you were on your own for the rest of it?
No, not for the rest of it. Just for like 20 seconds while they got everyone back and put them into the pre-show.
Oh.
Yeah. So then,
that's so funny.
So that happened, and then we the woman spoke to us and was like, oh yeah, legend of people ripping off people's faces.
Yeah,
and,
brilliant.
People staying down the mine. That's really why you've come here, not for the mine, but for the legend and all that kind of stuff.
Wait, so the plot is that you're going down to see if it's real?
Yeah.
No. I don't care if it's real. I'm not going down there.
So then the rest of it is, like a pseudo mine. So there was parts where the mine got really low.
Can I just say, is it like at the Black Country Museum?
A little bit.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Yeah, there was parts where the mine got really low, and I was kind of thankful that I was wearing the helmet, because I just kept banging my head.
That. Yeah, I'd want to have the light so I knew where I was going.
Yeah. Well, yes and no at the same time.
What, because you don't want to see what's coming?
Well, I guess so. There was another kind of compact bit where you're talking about the balloon last time. There was a decent kind of like back and forth mazy section that was full of kind of like jumpsuits with gas masks on.
Hold on, what?
So like gas masks with the hazmat suit.
Just hanging up.
Yeah, on like the sides, but very close to each other.
Right.
So you had to squeeze past.
Oh no.
Loads of these.
Oh no.
To the point where
there?
gas masks were right next to you. Nothing. No one was in them. It was just.
But there might have been.
Yeah, and it was dark. It was like pitch black.
Oh.
So. Yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't go in there.
And then you kind of move on to a section where it's kind of like where the people are living. So there's a few beds, and there's people on the beds, and they kind of scream at you.
Oh no.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a room of people. Then there's kind of like more switchbacks where you go left, right, kind of thing. Just browsing. Earlier on, you descended into the mine via a lift shaft, which didn't move or anything, but it was kind of cool. Everything went dark, and then it kind of.
What? So you went down in a lift?
Not really. You didn't really, but it was meant to. It was well done. The theming on it was pretty good, and the theming of the sets in general was really good. The only thing with mine tours is I basically got no interaction with people.
Right.
Which was partially because we caught up to the group in front of us very quickly.
Okay.
Like, I'm not one to mess about, so I end up just plowing through all of the things because I'm like, oh yeah, that's... Because I was looking out for where the actor places are, the actor tunnels, and I was like, all right, that's an actor tunnel, so I need to go this way.
Yeah.
Right? So I was just plowing through, getting stuff done, and then caught up to the people in front of us, and I was like, oh, so we had to chill for a minute. We stopped. I
thought you wanted to have a look around.
I did, but it's hard because when it's really dark and you can't really see much, you kind of just naturally want to go
quick. You just want to keep moving.
Yeah. So we ended up catching up to people in front, and really we didn't really get too much interaction. But then, we only had one run through.
Yeah, could have been different.
Yeah. There was one cool point, which was towards the end. So the helmet that you wore,
Mm-hmm.
the light could turn off and on at the discretion of the maze.
What?
So someone turned it on when we got inside the mine, but then it would flash on and off. It would
Oh
turn
my
on and
God.
off. Yeah. So there was this one point
Wait,
where
so it could go pitch black?
yeah.
Oh my God.
There was one point towards the end where it just started flickering faster and faster,
no.
and it felt like I was put in a trance.
Yeah.
It was really crazy.
Like strobe lights.
Yeah. It was really cool.
Not cool.
But no, I enjoyed Altonville Mine Tours, but in my experience, it was the weakest of the three by, I'd even say, a significant margin.
Really? That still sounds bad.
It's just because we didn't really get any actor interaction, which
Yeah.
isn't. I mean, it is a maze, and run-throughs are going to vary drastically depending on when you do it and how it goes. So, but yeah, that was Altonville Mine Tours. You exit out, and back into daylight, back out of the mine, hand your hat back in, and whatnot. So then, the people who were doing the mazes, we moseyed on, feeling brave.
Can I
made it
just
through that one.
say, meanwhile, us three are all standing by the end of Subspecies watching everyone run out.
Yeah.
Everyone was like falling over because it was all like slippy on the floor. So they'd come running out and then just like fall over. It was so bad.
So yeah, that led us to Subspecies, which is
The big boy.
the big boy, the well-known big boy, the spooky maze. And interestingly enough, on the website for the other two, it said that no one touches you.
Yeah, this is the thing, right? I went in Project 42 thinking no one's going to touch me because it didn't say they were going to touch you, whereas for Subspecies, it said they will touch you in capitals. So Keris is like, oh yeah, it's fine. No one's going to touch you. You're just going to walk through. But everyone starts grabbing us. Like grabbing our arms, everything. So I was like, how much more can they touch you in Subspecies than they did in that one?
A lot.
But how?
So yeah, the other two, not meant to touch you apparently, but they do, and I think it's good. I like the touching, makes it more intense, definitely. But yeah, Subspecies. There's a bit of a queue for it, like 5 minutes, and when you get to the front, this woman's like, okay, she kind of walks you through.
Is she an actor?
Yeah, but she's literally just saying, you can't be pregnant, you can't be this, you can't be that.
Oh.
They're going to touch you, you can't touch them back. You're going to get split off.
That's me out.
You're going to get put into separate locations. It is a maze. There are dead ends. You might get lost, all of that kind of stuff.
Oh my God.
So, I was going into it like, boy, this is something. And then you kind of go in and there's a pre-show room with like 8 TVs. And the pre-show of this is much better. And it kind of talks you through the story where there's these sewer people and there's monsters. And the sewer people can live in the sewer and as long as they give sacrifices to the monsters.
Okay.
And you're the sacrifice, basically.
Oh, classic. Classic Wicker Man story.
Yeah. So you enter that room and then there's like a vault door, like a submarine door.
No way.
That opens and everyone goes down through this corridor.
Downwards?
Yeah, they head down upstairs.
Oh.
Through this corridor, and then this is the interesting bit.
Oh no!
So
I'm actually getting scared.
There's 3 doors. Okay.
And you go through whatever one they tell you.
Wait.
Oh.
Your group lines up.
Okay.
And they put like 4 people next to each door and 1 in front of each door. And you're told to face away from the door. Lights go out, doors open, people get grabbed. Like physically grabbed and pulled back, doors close, right? And then a few seconds later, everyone else goes through door 1.
What? Hold on a minute.
So this is the thing where the people will touch you because they physically grab you, pull you back, pull you out of the way. Yeah.
But so only a few people have gone through the other doors?
Yeah, like 3 of 12.
And then everyone else just goes in like door 4?
Yeah, basically.
Oh.
But that's the whole kind of ethos of the maze.
So then from that point on, is it like 4 different routes?
Well, all of the routes kind of merge together and then
Split
go out
off again.
and then merge together. I think there's a few different points, and I'll talk about those later on. But yeah, it's pretty much you get split off, and then at every possible like stage where it splits off further, they will split you off more.
Oh my god.
So they'll like literally stop you and tell you to go a different way, or push you a different way. That kind of thing.
As you're walking, they'll just push you?
Yeah.
Oh my god. What if you just fall over?
Well, you're not going to fall over.
I probably would. Oh dear.
The whole thing is definitely splitting people apart, and then the actors are there looking at you and all that. Interestingly, the kind of spooky actors, there aren't that many of. It's more kind of people telling you what to do.
Well, what are they dressed as?
Kind of the same. They're kind of like the operatives in there. Like I guess those people are the people who are living in the sewers, not the spooky people.
Oh, so it's more of like trying to be immersive in the sense that there are actually other normal people there as well.
Yeah, kind of.
Instead of just all monsters, it's more real
Yeah.
because there's like other people.
Yeah.
That's kind of worse.
But then it's like 50-50. So there's not as many people trying to scare you. Those people aren't always trying to scare you, but telling you what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, but is it like, do this? Or is it like, oh my god, quick, do this?
No, it's do this.
Oh, okay.
It's not like...
I was going to say, if they're getting scared as well, then that would scare you because you'd be like, oh, why are they scared?
Yeah, no. But there's varying different parts to it. One of the sections was completely pitch black to the point where there's a rope on a wall and you've got to just keep following the rope to get through.
Oh my god.
And I was following this rope, and then we got into this room where there's like a strobe. I was by myself at this point.
Uh-huh.
Which happens for most of the maze.
Yeah.
And there was this woman who was just having her arms out in front of her, really slowly moving forwards.
Oh,
and I'm like,
no.
mate, you're in the way. But the sets are very good. I think out of all of them, the sets in Subspecies are arguably the best. They
what
kind
kind
of
of
really
things are they though?
just like sewer stuff. There's like a generator room. There's a sewer tunnel. It's hard to think when you're there.
Is it all grimy as well, like mud
yeah.
everywhere and stuff?
Not mud, but kind of like that. Graffiti in places and more submarine door style stuff. Yeah, it's hard because most of the time it is dark, but at the same time it's kind of not.
You still know what's going on.
Yeah. So then the whole thing kind of converges, to a point, and this is, if you're looking at the maze from the outside, you'll see that there's a bit that sticks out of the towers and then goes down onto the ground outside.
Yeah, the bit that we were watching.
Yeah.
The tube.
And that leads you to the outside bit of where the containers are.
Yeah.
So that tube is 2 individual paths, and they make every other person go into the separate ones.
Oh.
So everything converges to that point, splits into 2 again with an actor telling you, go that way or go that way. And each kind of route has a different thing in it.
Okay.
So
did you get a different one each time?
Yeah, I got both.
Okay, that's good.
The first time, I can't remember what it was. I think it was just some actor in a room. I really can't remember what it was. I guess I just blitzed through that bit.
Yeah.
The second one is what really got me, because that was when there was a sewer tunnel, and it was like a T-junction, if you can imagine a T-junction.
Mm-hmm. But a tunnel?
I wanted to go straight across it, so I didn't have to turn or anything. I just wanted to go straight, right?
Hold on, we're at a T-junction.
Yeah, but I'm not going... I'm not the T. I'm not the body of the T. I'm the top of the T.
You are?
Imagine a T.
Yeah.
Top left of it. That's where I am, and I want to go straight across.
Okay.
Yes.
So you've got in front of you a straight and a right turn.
Yes.
Okay.
And I want to go straight.
Yeah, obviously.
Lo and behold, there's someone sitting in the right turn.
No, get out.
Who, Pete told me before that he had his leg grabbed while I was going through the tunnel.
Oh my god.
And I was like, I'm not dealing with this.
No.
So I knew that there was someone in there, and I heard them rattling about, and I just literally crawled as fast as I could through the tunnel. And that was the point that got me scared the most.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't want to be in a tunnel being grabbed.
Yeah. I wouldn't have even got into the tunnel.
Yeah.
No way.
But the tunnel, there was more tunnels even before that. There was loads of moments where you had to duck down and crouch down to enter a room, like a small doorway. You had to crouch under a small doorway.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Just to throw you off.
Yeah, and throughout the whole thing, before you get to this point where it converges, there's loads of different routes you can take, and some of them are dead ends, and some of them are just loops. If you went the wrong way, you could loop round and round and round and round.
Oh my god.
And that's it.
Isn't that what they ended up doing though?
Yeah, those guys did. But at the same time, I don't know how you'd loop round, because you'd obviously have to follow the signs wrong, because there are arrows that point to places.
Yeah, but maybe people aren't seeing the signs.
And yeah, but at the same time, like, when I was in the maze, someone was like, I don't know where to go. And I'm like, mate, there's an arrow there.
Because they're really scared, Harry. Some people can't... If you're really scared, you're not going to be processing what's going on. So they'll just be in a panic, like, oh my god, where do I go?
I just found it funny how both times I kind of just blitzed through it.
Yeah, because it's you, isn't it?
And then people are like stuck, and I'm like, well, there's an arrow.
I feel like I
down.
would have got stuck.
Yeah, well. But you get to the point where it converges, go down one of two tunnels, try not to get grabbed by the leg man. Then it kind of joins together again, which is what the containers are.
And then this is the finale.
So yeah, then there's a set. A really well done set. It's like a generator, I think, kind of like a boiler room kind of thing. And there's the plastic curtains, and the other side of that, you see the guy with the chainsaw.
The chainsaw guy.
So he kind of just walks up to you, picks up his chainsaw and revs it.
No.
And then obviously most people just run out at that point.
And then fall over when they get outside.
Yeah.
A lot of times we saw the chainsaw guy like run out as well.
Yeah. He was cool, definitely cool.
Yeah, cool was the word.
Yeah. But no, that was pretty much our experience of that. Because, you wussed out, some other people did, we ended up doing subspecies twice.
Yeah. See, aren't you glad I'm so scared?
Which was just good in a way.
I'm not being funny. I actually would have died in that one.
Yeah. I
would not have made it out.
So overall, I think they're really good, and massive props to the set design, because both Altonville mine tours and subspecies are literally in the castle, in the towers. Like, how on earth you're in the towers at that point?
Yeah,
I don't know. Which is mental, absolutely mental, that they've managed to make these sets. So huge props to the set design.
And the actors, because they were all really good.
Yeah, but then both in Altonville mine tours and subspecies, I would have liked to see more people.
Yeah, but what they had was really good.
Yeah, what they had was good, but the interaction we got on Project 42 was like 3-4 times as much as I got in the other two.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Whether that be just because we had bad run-throughs or the time of day or what.
Yeah.
But I just felt like there were many more people in Project 42 than there were in the other two. But then again, I think Project 42 had more space for people.
Yeah.
There were some parts of both mine tours and subspecies which were either pitch black or very thin corridors that, you couldn't really get people to go down. But yeah, no, I'd love to see more people in the other two, especially subspecies. If you wanted to knock that up even spookier, you just want more people screaming at you, really.
Brilliant.
That would have done it.
Yeah.
Or people, not necessarily, you want people running after you.
No,
that would be what it is.
No, you don't, Harry.
Because that would really spook you.
Oh my god.
Like you're going down these corridors, thin corridors, and you just hear someone scream behind you and run after you.
Yeah, but
that would be perfect.
No, but wouldn't that be a health and safety thing?
Why?
Because people would probably run and fall over like they were doing outside.
No, it's fine.
Because the only point where somebody ran at you is the chainsaw man, and everybody ran out. Yeah. You'd get the occasional guy who'd just walk out as if nothing had happened. But everyone was running out away from him.
Well, I think you'd have to do it well. There are some places in subspecies where it was just long corridor. And if it's long corridor, you can get away with it.
And if they lit it a tiny bit so you could see where you were going. Because you'd obviously want to see the guy running after you, because that would make it more scary.
I think that would be perfect. Just more kind of... I wasn't put on edge enough. Naturally, people would be, because 1, they're alone, 2, they're in a maze that's actually a maze.
Yeah.
Whereas I never really felt too on edge, except for the leg grabby guy and the chainsaw man at the
Yeah,
first
not
one.
being funny. I think that's just you.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess I need something a bit more intense.
Cool.
But huge props to, as I said, set design and the actors themselves. They were very, very good. Just need more of them, please. Thank you.
Please no. Stop now.
More.
No. Less.
The main thing is next year definitely be back.
Yep, and I definitely won't be going in any of the mazes.
So I want to say a shout out to Towers because me and Zoe actually had the whole day for free.
Yeah.
Which was pretty awesome. Towers run a day where they get people from the media to come, and I was like, oh, I can't make that day. And Lizzie, the PR woman, she was like, all right, we'll sort you out another day. So we managed to get tickets to go into the mazes and experience it all. And usually we wouldn't do it just because, you know, we didn't really see a value in it before. But
to be fair, this year we were going to do it anyway, but
Yeah.
it was really nice of them to still give us the tickets even though we couldn't go to the real thing.
So hopefully next year we can attend the real thing.
Yes,
You know?
definitely.
They had a souped up version of Project 42 at night as well.
Amazing. Can't wait.
So that would have been good. But
Maybe you should take someone else to that one, mate.
But no, very, very good. Loved the mazes. Really enjoyed the fact that we actually did them this time.
Yes.
Definitely made it a much spookier day. I think it was more Halloween-y because we did the mazes. I feel,
definitely.
which really added to it.
And there was more variety in the stuff that we were doing.
Yeah, definitely.
We kind of broke it up
good.
a little bit.
It was good to not have to queue for stuff and still get experiences that were very cool.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have to queue. But
No.
to be fair, when we walked past at night, there was a long queue for
This is
Altonville.
it.
I don't know about the other ones, but Altonville was like coming out the door. I was like, brilliant.
Yeah.
So top tip, go in the afternoon.
Yeah, you want a top tip for the mazes, pretty much go ASAP or shortly after it opens.
Well,
we
I
started
think-
ours at 1:30.
Yeah, I think what it is people think it's going to be better at night because it'll be darker, but everything's
All indoors.
inside. So why would you do that?
So that leads us into the final thing of the Scarefest discussion, and that was dark rides.
Yes.
And, it was very busy, so we didn't exactly get a whole host of dark rides in.
To be fair, we got 3, which is...
Yeah, it's decent.
I thought we were going to get like 1.
It's decent. It's not exactly the 3 I would have liked.
No, but
There's only
again,
one.
it was kind of random ones, so
Yeah.
I don't think we'd do them again.
I think, personally, the best 3 dark rides, I would say, at Towers is definitely Nemesis Front Row,
Yeah.
is sublime.
Smiler.
Smiler, again, front row or just any row, is pretty good. And Wicker Man. Those 3 for me are the 3 for dark rides.
Yeah. But if we did that, it would have taken us a couple of days, so...
Yes, it would have. Especially the Smiler and Wicker Man had queue times that were obscene.
We didn't even get on the Smiler. That's how
No.
bad it was, guys.
Yeah.
Not
So,
funny.
Yep. But no, we joined Galactica's queue, which was like an hour and a bit.
Yeah.
When it was light, and by the time we got on it, it was nearly pitch black or about to, turning dark.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd say
and-
that's not as fun, though, because I like Galactica for the fact that you can look around, see where you're going. You know what I mean? You can't really... It's one way you're like, oh yeah, I'm flying, but when it's dark, you can't really tell you're flying.
I get you, but at the same time, I think any ride's cooler when it's in the dark.
No. Because I like seeing... Because you can just look down on that one, at everyone. I like just looking where we're going.
Yeah.
But when it's dark, you can't see anything.
Well, you can still see it. It's not exactly pitch black.
Yeah, but it's not as good.
No, I like it. Portal's pretty good as well when you go through that.
Yeah, the
When it's
portal
dark.
was good. Meh, it's still just Galactica anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so Galactica first, then we made our way over to Oblivion
Yep.
to do that in the dark, only because the queue time wasn't
Horrendous.
stupidly high.
Mm.
Yeah. So we did that, and Oblivion's Oblivion. I really don't think it makes it that much better in the dark.
No, it doesn't really make a difference.
No. But
we
we
did
didn't have
it.
to queue too long.
I mean, it was still an hour, but...
It wasn't. It's like half an hour. It said
Yeah.
50, but it was half an hour. Oblivion looks good in the dark. in the night, in the dark. I tried to combine the two words, but it didn't work. You know, lit up in orange. The drop's very, very cool when it's dark, just because of it's already spooky anyway. So
Yeah.
and you know, we could see the Smiler having fun on the other side with its
Gutted.
stupid long queue. One thing I'd like the Smiler to be is more dark.
Yeah. It's
It's
because
kind
of
of
the
bright.
what's that thing called?
The Marmalizer.
Yeah, it's because of that, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know whether it would look better because most of the rider towers now have like mood lighting, like floodlights.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't used to, but you know, Oblivion has orange, Nemesis red, Galactica has permanent blue ones. I don't think 30. I'm not sure about 13 or Rita. I haven't seen those in the dark in years.
Yeah.
They
Must do.
They must do, and I think the Smiler has yellow. But
You can't tell.
kind of wish that they weren't on.
Yeah.
I think the lights from the Marmalizer alone would be really cool.
Yeah.
Just to have it really dark, except for this core display that lights the whole ride up. But obviously with the animation that's going on the display, it would kind of flicker. The light would flicker and it would change. So I kind of wish that they went back to that. I'm not sure if it would be better because, you know, it's hard to say unless you truly, you know, experienced it. But yeah, don't know. Go on then, talk to us about Wicker Man.
So we waited about 3 days to go on Wicker Man. I'm not even joking.
Roughly.
We did it in the morning, which was the best idea we've ever had because the queue was at its shortest. Still about an hour though, and we joined the pre-queue, so...
It's about 45.
Was it?
Yeah.
So that was good that we'd done it once. But then we joined it... What time did we join the queue?
About 22:09.
Yeah. And we didn't get on till... I don't even know what time we got on.
I don't know what time either.
No, it was a long time. But it was worth it because A, the ride had sped up so much during the day that it was insane. And B, Wicker Man is just the best at night. It's just like, if you're going to ride Wicker Man, ride it at night. Like it was made to do that.
It does feel like it was made to do that.
Yeah. Well, I think it genuinely was made to do that.
It's a very photogenic ride anyway.
Yes.
But when the fire's on at night...
And the red lights.
And it's lit up in red, it's very cool.
So cool.
Yeah. And as Zoe said, once it's been running for the entirety of a day...
Yeah.
It's such a different ride.
Yeah.
Man, it's so much faster, so much more chaotic. It literally blitzes around the track. It feels like it does. It can't be that much faster, but it feels like it does.
No, it must be. It has to
insane.
be. It lasts about 5 seconds at night time.
Yeah, it does go a lot
It's like
faster.
you're on, you're off.
I'd love for someone to take some sort of...
We need to measure this.
Well, yeah, I was going to say like a POV
Yeah.
of the night, just so that we could see how long it is from
Oh, do you know what we should
set off
have
the
done?
chain and then to once it hits the brake run.
We should have just like recorded the time while we're in the queue.
Huh?
Just look at the ride
yeah, how
and
long it
like
takes.
and
Yeah.
record the time.
Yeah. If someone is still going to Scarefest,
Somebody do that. It'd be
please
so
do that
interesting.
so we can see how many seconds it gets shaved off the time.
Yeah.
I think from the POV towers recorded, it's about 50 seconds.
Right.
The actual from chain to
Normal.
brake run. Yeah, normal. I imagine that was running relatively early. It doesn't seem that fast.
Okay.
So
How quick can you record Wicker Man going? I reckon it'd go down to like it would lose at least 2 seconds.
yeah, I'll probably think like 47, 46.
Yeah.
It'd be
It's
very interesting to
insane.
see.
But yeah, still living up to the expectations. Because I was worried that we just had like false memories from press night of riding it in the dark about how great it was, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, is it going to be the same level? And it was. So
Well, it was darker on press night, which was cooler. I don't know why it was... Well, no, it was darker because
it
the
was like
lights in the
winter.
queue line wasn't on. That's why.
Ah, yes.
But at the same time, the actual ride we rode on press night in the middle and the back. We only rode at night at Scarefest in the middle. But I have to say, the middle ride on Scarefest was better than the middle ride at the preview.
Yeah.
By a decent bit. It was much faster, much more chaotic.
It's maturing with age.
Yes, which wooden coasters do, they bed in.
Yes.
So it is a very good ride, and we would definitely tell you to ride it at night if you can withstand
Do it.
2.5 hours of queue.
It's worth it. Even our friends who don't like roller coasters were like, yes, that was worth it.
Yeah. It's a whole different beast.
It literally is a whole different ride. I'm not even joking. So we asked everyone for questions about Scarefest, and we got one. We got one from Joel, which says,
Well done, Joel.
thanks, mate. You saved us. Assuming Wicker Man gives the best night rides in the park.
Yes.
Exactly. What would you add to some of the other coasters to bring their night rides to the same level? You cannot do that because you just need to knock it down and build it as Wicker Man. It's true. You can't just add something.
I don't know. Nemesis is pretty cool front row anyway. The only thing I would say is, one, block every row that isn't the front row. And then two, if it's the Smiler, get rid of the mood lighting.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you could do. As Zoe said, Wicker Man was built to work well at night, and the other coasters weren't really.
Yeah.
You know, fire and...
There's just something about Wicker Man, and I don't know what it is. I think the structure helps.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is, the structure, like, because you can light it up and it has the fire on it. There's something focal of, like, everybody can look up and see it at night.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know, they need a statue, but then that wouldn't work for half of them. So,
No.
I don't know. There's just something about Wicker Man.
Yeah. I definitely do think that what the park did by introducing floodlighting, mood lighting on most of the coasters was a better move and helped to bring their night rides to a better level also. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think Wicker Man is a whole separate thing. I mean, you'll find out for yourself soon.
Has Joel not been on it?
No, but he will be.
Joel,
not at night.
Get yourself on it.
He is.
Good. Okay, next one. Can I just say thank you to the two people who sent us a voice message, because we beat our record. So very exciting. Here's one from Jamie.
Hey guys, had great fun hanging out with you all at Scarefest this year. Personally, I really enjoyed our nighttime ride on Wicker Man because it was very dark and very spooky. But that leads me on to my question. Do you think Scarefest should remain open for another hour? Because Fright Nights at Thorpe Park closes at 10 p.m, where Scarefest only closes at 9 p.m. Personally, I would like them to have another hour of ride time because I didn't get to ride Smiler at night, which I really wanted to do. Anyway, love the podcast, and cool, bye.
Yes, Jamie. Why don't they close at 10?
I'd put it down to two reasons. One, towers, being so close to Alton, they're only allowed, I think, to open late on certain contracted days, and
not this old chestnut again.
To get it shifted back even later would raise more concerns and complaints. I think that's partially reason one, and then partially reason two. Thorpe Park is in much more built up area compared to towers. I think people who work at Thorpe Park have probably easier access to home than people at towers do. Guests going to Thorpe Park, I imagine, also have better access to going home than towers do. So I think it's the combination of all of those things that mean towers is open shorter than Thorpe is. But I don't know for sure. I don't know whether that's true. Could be because towers are cheap.
If it's that, then stop it.
Yeah, but they've always, since I can remember, it's always been 9.
Really?
Even before the accident and before that. Yeah, so I purely think it's down to those two factors. Maybe
it's also the thing of Thorpe Park's more aimed at teenagers who might stay up later rather than families, I mean, that doesn't really make a difference on Fright Night, I guess, because, Scarefest, because, teenagers are going to go to that, I guess, but maybe that's it as well.
No, yeah, definitely a good point.
But we think it should be open longer. It just won't happen.
Well, not necessarily.
Let's start a petition.
I think I'd rather see towers open later in summer than later at Scarefest.
Really?
In all honesty. Yeah, definitely.
No, because night rides are like special.
But it's a long
There's
day.
only a limited amount of time.
It's a long day.
I know what you mean, but imagine if you lived close by, you could go in for the night rides.
Yeah.
And in summer, all the time is going to be the same lightness. So what's the point in extending it?
Yeah, I know. What do you mean? What's the point? Because then you get actual full days rather than like 6 p.m. close on a summer's day in August.
Yeah.
You know? No.
Do you know
it used
what?
To be 7. Back in the day, it was 7.
It should just be 24 hours.
Well,
24
no.
hours every day of the year.
No.
Done,
but I'd honestly
sorted.
prefer to see towers fix their times earlier in the season than push Scarefest back. So
I disagree. I'd like a Scarefest hour, please.
your opinion is wrong.
Oh, I'm going to cry now.
But thank you, Jamie. It was great hanging out with you as well.
Yeah, it
Glad
was
we
good
could
fun.
save you from being alone.
Yes. I think you would have died in that 2-hour queue.
Yes, you definitely would have died.
Okay. And here's one from Kevin.
Hey guys, Kevin from Orlando, Florida here. First off, love the YouTube series, love the podcast. Harry, Zoe, you guys are awesome. Secondly, I'm planning to fly to Britain sometime in January, so I was wondering if you guys have any sort of Halloween events in the UK, whether scare-centered or family-friendly, that you would most recommend.
Okay, we are not the people for this job.
No. So first of all, I clarified with Kevin. Thank you, Kevin, by the way. Much
Yes.
appreciated for both the kind words and for the audio clip or whatever it's called. Clarified with Kevin. He doesn't mean scare events in January like we initially
Oh yeah,
thought.
we were a bit silly.
I think he more means like he's flying over in January and staying for a bit.
Yeah. Which is fab.
But as Zoe said, we are not the people you desire.
Obviously go to Alton Towers.
I've only ever been to Scarefest in terms of like a Halloween event. Never been
Yeah.
anywhere else.
Yeah.
Not really into the whole Halloween scene. I guess hopefully next year I'll try and get into it a bit more. But yeah, you'd have to. I mean, what I suggest doing is hopping on a channel like Theme Park Worldwide and someone who consistently produces Halloween based theme park videos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, have a look at his channel. You don't even have to watch the videos. Just have a look at where
The
he's gone.
titles, yeah.
Yeah,
Or just his
exactly.
Twitter, because I've been watching all the places he's
Yeah.
been. But also, another thing you could do is go to like the dungeons or something. Because although that's not actually just Halloween,
Yes,
you could count
this is
that as a
true.
Halloween thing to do, you know?
The dungeons are open all the time. London dungeons, Edinburgh dungeons, York dungeons,
They're very
Blackpool
good.
dungeons. There's Blackpool ones, right?
Yes.
I think so.
And
but yeah,
soon to be Alton Towers dungeons.
yes, soon. That's news that we didn't talk about.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
it's not news though, is it?
well, yeah.
we
Alton
don't wanna
Towers are getting a
discuss
dungeons next year. It's going to be a additional paid price to enter the
that.
dungeons.
Yay.
Apparently it's going to be located in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So time will tell. 2019. But yeah, Kevin, check out Theme Park Worldwide. Sean, if you're listening, and I said don't watch his videos.
We love your videos.
Yeah,
Watch
sure.
them or don't watch them. It's up to you.
Sure.
But Sean has all the good ideas, so go there.
Yeah, no, just have a look at what other people have done and just kind of do some research, really.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
But
I hope-
Alton Towers is a good one.
Yes. The Scarefest, there's Friday Nights at Thought Park. Maybe that's worth a try.
Meh.
I think really most UK theme parks have some sort of Halloween event.
Yeah.
So see what tickles your fancy. Just do some research around the time.
It also
And,
depends if you
there
like
you go.
mazes or, what kind of thing do you like? That's another factor.
It's very true. So sorry we couldn't answer better. Hope you have
We
a good time in the
tried.
UK. And
Yes.
thank you for the message.
Okay, the poll. Very exciting poll. We were surprised by the results. So, which scare maze at Alton Towers is best overall? And we did the main three. So, Project 42, which got 39%, Subspecies 37, and Altonville Mine Tours 24. So it was close.
It was close, and I can see why people are saying Project 42, mainly because if it's anything based on what we got, there was a lot of actor interaction, a lot of spooks, and because it's a new maze, I imagine more people are excited about it.
Yeah.
Whereas Subspecies is 3 years old and Old Mindville Tours is 2.
Yeah, it's old news now, isn't it?
So I guess that's why, but my personal ranking would be Subspecies, Project 42, and then a little bit of a distance away, Altonville Mine Tours.
So you're saying the same result, but just swap the top 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some sort of hybrid of the first 2 would be good. I just want more actors. There was copious amount of actors in Project 42, which was really, really, really good. So, but yeah, no, I could see why people say that.
Jamie replied and said, despite me not going in any of the mazes and assuming that not everyone who has voted had actually experienced all 3 mazes, some people might just say Project 42 only because of Subterra and actually being able to go inside the building for the first time in 3 years.
But even as we were saying earlier, you really don't notice that much.
Yeah, but maybe they were just like, yay, we're in the building.
Yeah, but why? Who cares?
I don't know.
There's not really many Easter eggs other than the actual eggs.
Yeah, but at least it's being used, you know?
Yeah, no, it's a good set.
Yeah.
It's a very good set to use, especially with kind of like the queue they've got as well that's already there. So hopefully, now they've done some work on it, they can get it running again.
Exactly.
Bring it back.
So that's all we have to say this week.
This week on Theme Park Worldwide Weekly.
Stop it. Exactly. Follow us on Twitter. Keep sending us voice messages on the website because we loved that this week. Just keep an eye out for, the next tweets about what we're going to be doing. I can't remember what the topic is. It could be Disney. Is it Disney?
Oh, it might be actually. I'm not sure. Yeah, Disney.
Cool. So it's Disney. So send us any voice messages about Disneyland Paris because that's
Disney.
the only one I can afford to go to.
Yep.
But yeah, so also if you want to leave us a little review on iTunes, much appreciated. Keep them rolling in and spread the word and keep listening.
Yes, and if you dislike the fact that I did a lot of the talking this time, just wait till 2 weeks' time because
there's going to be nothing from Harry.
No, I won't have much to say other than Disney bad.
He's going to be
question mark.
He's going to be sat in the corner crying.
No.
Yeah.